episode of War Stories. I'm your host, Jericho. Welcome to the Full Instance channel if this is your first time here. If you missed my intro video, basically the idea behind this War Stories thing is it's sort of a podcast where I'll play Star Wars Battlefront, see what we can do with it, and just talk about whatever topic happens to catch my fancy on that particular day. So we're jumping in a match of Fighter Squadron here as the Empire. Looks like I'm already down, 12 points going in. Fighter Squadron, I am really enjoying. I actually, that would be the one part of Battlefront that I would say categorically I prefer to how it was in Battlefront 2, is the space battles. Even with the frustrating A-Wings that have a ridiculously small hitbox. I like how it feels, especially with, all of Battlefront has such, ridiculously great sound design that it's just a joy to watch. Especially, I really like, we missed it this time because I kind of jumped in the middle, but I really love seeing the, when the fighters first fight each other at the beginning of the match. It really reminds me of the space battle in Return of the Jedi, when after they realize that it's a trap, and the Death Star shields are still up, and just all of the TIE fighters break at them at once. But I don't know. I love Fighter Squadron, and it's, of course, as I died, but it's the mode of the game that I usually have the most success with, for sure. Especially as the Rebels, but I think a lot of people would agree that the Rebels have quite an advantage in the space battles. The shield is just better than the speed boost. I don't think anybody would really argue that. And with the problems with the A-Wings hitbox, it gets kind of tough for the Empire to really be successful. So what I thought I'd talk about for this first episode is some movies that are coming up this year. This is a huge year for movies. And I'm going to try to go in vague chronological order, but I don't have a release schedule pulled up in front of me. So I'll probably miss out on some great ones and go out of order a little bit, but I'm going to do my best. So I know that the first one is Batman vs. Superman, comes out March 4th. I am a huge Batman fan. Besides maybe Star Wars, Batman would be my favorite movie franchise. I grew up on the animated series, my favorite TV show of all time. I love the Tim Burton movies. I loved the Dark Knight trilogy. The Dark Knight is probably my very favorite single movie. If gun to my head, it's tough to beat. So when I guess just to start with. Man, the Millennium Falcon has it out for me, doesn't he? I liked Man of Steel. I thought it sort of had some structural problems, and I don't mind, the gritty tone that a lot of movies go for. I mean, of course they're going to ape, the feel of Dark Knight because of how popular it was, and you can't really fault them for that. And I know Superman, to a lot of people, shouldn't be, that angry, dark, brooding, that's, what Batman is for. But I think that was sort of the point. And, people complain, oh, he leveled the whole city of Metropolis at the end just to kill one guy, and then he did kill one guy. Batman shouldn't kill people. I mean, yeah, exactly. That's how weird it is. Superman shouldn't kill people. Wow, we were outmatched that time. I was top on my team and wouldn't have been 5th on theirs. Okay, so yeah, Superman shouldn't kill people, but he's new. He's new to the job as Superman, and I feel like, it's all saying something. That it's all about power and what you do with it. Power and responsibility, just like the Spider-Man movies. And he failed. The point of Man of Steel is that Superman failed. He failed to protect all of Metropolis. He failed to protect, the citizens that may have been killed. Surely were killed with the amount of carnage in that battle. He failed to capture Zod. He failed to find a diplomatic solution. Superman blew it. He was forced to use his powers. He was forced to level this city just to stop, one guy. And I think that's going to be a lot of the lifeblood of Batman versus Superman. I think that's why Batman's going to have it out for him, is because he just destroyed a city, and he thinks, you know, he's dangerous, and so Batman's going to have to, you know, do what it takes to put him down. So yeah, I ended up liking Man of Steel, so Batman vs. Superman, you know, they announced the casting of Ben Affleck, which I liked from the beginning, because here's the thing, a lot of people thought it was not going to go well because they didn't like Daredevil. And I thought Daredevil was okay. It definitely had a lot of problems. Tone, I remember especially, was something that I really disagreed with, where it was sometimes just so morose, you know, like literally like scenes of confession in a church, and just like, you know, just like the saddest, you know, most like pearl clutching scenes. But then, you know, the comedy relief character with, I can't remember his name, his partner in the law firm. So, but that's not a good way to judge an actor, because you can look at Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber and look at Jim Carrey in The Number 23, or look at Johnny Depp in, you know, and even Pirates, versus how he was in Secret Window. You know, it's not, you can't judge how somebody's going to do in one movie based on how they did in something else. And since then, I mean, Daredevil came out a long time ago. Ben Affleck had quite the career renaissance, especially becoming, you know, a director. And the thing about playing Batman in a movie is anybody can play Batman as long as you got a good chin. You know, you're grunting at people and punching them, and a lot of that stuff's gonna be done by the stuntman anyway. The trick to playing Batman is being an effective, convincing Bruce Wayne, and I think Ben Affleck is gonna do that easily, because, you know, he's a good-looking guy, you know, a talented actor, and I think, like, in a way, his recognizability as being such a big name, because, like, you know, Michael Keaton wasn't very big when he was chosen, and Christian Bale really not either. I would say more so than Keaton was, but, you know, neither was, you know, a huge A-lister before being chosen as Batman. But I think that recognizability, like knowing who Ben Affleck is, that helps get across the idea of Bruce Wayne as this huge person, because, you know, like, your brain realizes that he's, you know, a big important guy, and it kind of does the movie's work for it. So anyway, I've already gone on about Batman vs. Superman for 5 minutes, so we'll definitely do at least a couple more war stories about movies of the year. But so yeah, I think I'm excited for Batman vs. Superman. I think it's gonna. The trailers look pretty good. I'm most excited to see, or nervous, I guess would be a better word, to see Lex Luthor, because I'm really worried that he's just going to be bald Joker. And as much as I defended and was on board with the casting of Affleck as Bruce Wayne, that's how kind of I am about Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. It's not really that I don't have any doubt that he could do it and be effective at it. It's just, I don't know. I don't really see it. I like it when Lex is a rival to Superman in all ways. So I want him to be just as handsome. I want him to also be muscular. You know, I want him to be, you know, a tough guy. And I think, but that's just the way I see it. You know, other people could see it differently. There's definitely lots of ways to go about such a long-lived, iconic character. You know, he started off as a mad scientist and grew into this, you know, almost dark mirror of Superman, where he's, you know, this tough businessman and all this, you know. But anyway, okay. So that's Batman vs. Superman. I think the next movie after that, you know, because they were scheduled on the exact same day, and I think it was Civil War that moved, but Captain America Civil War, I believe, is the next big release for the year. And even though I'm more into Batman, I would say I'm more excited about Civil War. It was a great storyline it was an okay storyline. Kind of let down in execution in the comic books, but still a great, wow, Burrito 800 is just the guy, isn't he? I don't know. It's a great way to go with the movies. I like, you know, it was kind of a little bit clunky, especially in Age of Ultron, but I like how they've foreshadowed the split between Cap and Iron Man. How, you know, they already, you know, show that they radically disagree. Okay, for those that don't know, the main idea behind Civil War, especially in the comics, is that there was a big event, like a big disaster, which made the government decide that they needed to like keep a record of all the superpowered people and their abilities. So they made like a register. I think that was what it was called. It was like the Superhero Registration Act. And Captain America did not like it. He was immediately against it. He thought that it was, unpatriotic and wrong, and he did not want to sign it. But Iron Man disagreed because he thought that people needed to be protected from themselves, just like how they feel about things in Captain America about the Ultron Project. Iron Man just wants to protect the world in big stroking measures like that, whereas Captain America is more, it's about, world stability versus individual securities and individual securities, I guess. So so that's the crux of what's going on here. Is some of the Avengers and the supporting cast that they built up over these movies are going to be going with Tony. Some are going to be going with Steve. So that's our Civil War, and I'm really excited to see it. The trailers have been great. Like I said, it's a story with a lot of potential that I would really like to see what they're going to do with. It'll be cool to see the new Spider-Man. It could be cool to see Black Panther, and it's going to pave the way for where we're really going with things. I guess this might be an unintentional spoiler, so mute the video for a second, but in the comics, Captain America gets killed at the end. Steve Rogers gets murdered by a sniper, leaving a courthouse at the end of the Civil War arc. And it's basically to show that Captain America was right, that the Superhero Registration Act was wrong, and he ends up being martyred for his beliefs. So I think the way they're going with all of this is they're going to, through one way or another, they're going to weaken and separate the Avengers as we know them. I think something's going to happen to Steve. And the real world reason is the actors didn't sign up unlimited contracts. There's a certain set number of movies that they want to do, and Chris Evans especially, I keep hearing, really wants to get into directing. So he's might not be long for the Shield. So I think they're going to do something in these upcoming individual movies to sort of break up and hurt the Avengers, so that Infinity War Part 1, I think we're going to see, the B-listers and the new guys. So War Machine, Falcon, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch, Vision, all sort of team up to try to take on Thanos and fail. So then we can have Infinity War 2 will be just the huge brouhaha with all of those guys I just said, plus the original Avengers, and then maybe the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and just have everybody for just the ultimate showdown. So, and Civil War, I think, will set the stage for all of that.
Enemy fighter on your tail.
Anyway, we're getting close to our time, and I only covered 2 movies, so I have a lot more I want to talk about. I just realized that Deadpool comes out on Friday, and I didn't even touch on that, so we'll definitely be revisiting upcoming releases. And I plan to see as many of these movies as I can. I'm a huge movie guy, so I'll try to review them in a future war story. Maybe when I can play a little bit better. That burrito guy really has it out for me. But anyway, so this was War Stories. I hope you liked the format. I hope you want to stick around and see the next one. If you do, just leave a quick comment on the video and let me know what you thought, or if you have any suggestions for next time. I envision this series a couple of times a week, 2 or 3 times, trying to rotate with my Let's Play, which is going to be Final Fantasy X. So stick around for that. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and you can follow me on Twitter at @FullIncense, all one word. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm full.